What's good, Nayo Nation? What's good, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, what's good? What do you do? Oh, what's up? Before we get into this video, you guys already know the drill. Okay, I'm gonna need you guys to hit that little bell somewhere here so you can be part of the notification squad. And I'm going to go follow me on my social media at neorapetsoa on all social media platforms. So as you guys can tell from the title of this video, and as you guys can see, the environment today is a lot more comfortable. I'm in bed, okay? I'm not in studio. I'm not in, you know, my usual recording setup because today's video is a bit different. So we're not going to be doing a challenge. We're not going to be doing anything funny. We're not going to be doing anything out of this world. We're going to be talking, which I feel that we don't do a lot of. And I feel it's necessary, man. I feel like we need to talk. We need to get to know each other. Exactly. So today we're going to be talking about self-love, mental health, being patient with yourself, being kind to yourself, and forgiving yourself. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Basically, the reason in which I am filming this video, okay, is basically because I woke up this morning and I was just like, I feel like a lot of us aren't patient with ourselves, and I feel like a lot of us aren't kind to ourselves, and a lot of us don't forgive ourselves, you know. And I'm going to tell you guys why I say this from my personal perspective, but I feel like these are things that go hand in hand with self-love, because I know a lot of you guys, whenever I ask what I should talk about on my YouTube channel, a lot of you guys say self-love, you know. And that's such a broad topic that, like, it could mean physical self-love, it can mean mental, emotional, it could have so many different definitions, you know. Self-love could have so many different definitions. And so for me, I felt that the most three important things that contribute towards self-love is being kind to yourself, being patient with yourself, and forgiving yourself. Because I think we tend to forget that as much as there's a lot going on in the world, especially as of late with you know, with everything, as a black person, with Black Lives Matter, as a black woman, with the whole gender-based violence, especially in South Africa, as a human being with a pandemic, you know, there's so much happening in the world currently that we tend to forget that we've been through a lot alone as individuals, you know. As much as the world is at its one of its worst phases that we have been alive in this generation, but as human beings, we've been through a lot ourselves, you know. And I came to a point the one day where I was having a breakdown, and I was like, you know, I know I'm my biggest critic, but I don't think I've ever forgiven myself, because there's certain things that we put ourselves through, and there's certain things that we blame ourselves for, you know. Because a lot of the time, you find yourself in a situation where you're hurt by something or you're disappointed by something. I'm talking now in the context where you chose to put somebody else before yourself, and you never forgive yourself. You never, you know, apologize to yourself, first of all, that I'm sorry for not putting you first, and I forgive you for not putting yourself first, you know. So I think that's one thing for me, and I'm getting so emotional talking about this because it is something that was really for me like such a wake-up call. Like, have you forgiven yourself truly for all the things you've put yourself through? I mean, yes, I know that everybody contributes towards your pain, but sometimes as a person, you need to sit back and take accountability for the decisions that you've made in context to your personal health and your emotional health, and putting yourself first. And you need to take accountability for it and be like, okay, I understand this person hurt me. I understand this person put me through a lot, but I could have chosen to take myself out of the situation as soon as I felt that I was no longer a priority. And I've been in many situations where I felt I was not a priority in a lot of things, where I had to beg to be in first place, where I had to cry and plead and put them in the highest place that they didn't even deserve to be in, you know. All in the hopes that they will see that because they're in the first place of my life, they'll put me in the first place of their lives, you know. And I had to sit back and say, I haven't forgiven myself for putting myself through that. I haven't forgiven myself for not leaving spaces where I do not feel wanted. I haven't forgiven myself for not leaving spaces where I didn't feel like a priority. It's so important to take accountability of the hurt you've put yourself through by not leaving and by not detaching yourself from a situation that was not healthy for you, you know. And the reason I'm saying all of this is because self-love is about choosing yourself, you understand? Self-love is about choosing yourself and choosing what's best for you. Sometimes sitting in a room where you can feel that you You need something higher than yourself. You need something greater than a man. Not a man as in like man as in like you need something greater than human. You need something greater than a human being. You need something greater than the physical to get you out of this. Do you understand? And sometimes you need to sit back and be like, you know what? As much as I don't understand how, but I'm gonna have to trust the spirit above, whether it be God, whether it be the universe, whatever it is that you put your energy out into, you're gonna have to start trusting something bigger than you to get you out of situations that feel that they are beyond you. And I think that's how sometimes we also need to learn to forgive ourselves, because we overwork ourselves trying to get ourselves out of situations that we can even feel are bigger than us. Do you understand? And it's just a matter of sitting back and being like, you know what, this one is bigger than me. As much as I would love to sort it out myself, it's bigger than me. And it's okay, guys. It's really fine to sit back and be like, I'm gonna give it to the universe. I'm gonna give it to God. You know, I'm gonna give it to God, and I'm gonna really just sit back and have faith that he's gonna do something greater than I could even imagine. Because that's the problem, is that sometimes we tend to think, okay, I'm gonna give it to God so he can do what I want. And it's like, but do you understand that if God did what you want your whole life, you wouldn't even be where you are? You know, sometimes the things that you wanted could have been so detrimental to your health. They could have ruined you. Do you understand? You could have not even been at a point where you're stable or strong enough for what it is that you wanted. And that is why God chose not to give it to you at that time. So sometimes it's okay to be like, you know what? I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna let God handle this one. And I'm gonna let him do what he thinks is best. Even if it makes no sense to you when it happens, but it will in the end. Especially if you pray for the gift to realize why God is doing what he's doing in your life. Sometimes he does certain things. Sometimes certain things happen in our life where we're just like, I don't understand what the way forward is here. I don't understand. I really don't understand. But whether it be God, whether it be the universe, the energy that I think is important to put out, and the power that is important to put out is, I don't understand, but please make me understand. I don't understand. Don't pray for it to not happen or to stop just because you don't understand it. Pray for, make me understand why I'm going through it. Because clearly there's a reason. I believe everything in life happens for a reason. So it's important to sit back and be like, God, universe, whatever, make me understand, why am I going through it? It doesn't make any sense to me. A lot of the time as human beings, we tend to not understand something and be like, it's uncomfortable, it's making me sad, it's depressing me, it's really so detrimental to me, I want out. And now the problem is we fight so long with God wanting out that we never take a moment to think, okay, but why am I going through this? No, like actually, why? Not why in a self-pitiful manner, but why as in, what's the lesson I'm meant to learn from this, you know? So it's okay to forgive yourself for never taking that time away from yourself and being like, why am I going through what I'm going through? So I think that's why the moment you go through something traumatic, whether it be something that broke your heart, something that you could not wrap your finger about, it's important to be like, it's okay. It is okay. It's not your fault. And if you played a role in it, I'm sorry. Forgive yourself. Take time to be like, you know what? I've forgiven myself. Because that way, once you've forgiven yourself for something that you've been through and something that you feel you've put yourself through, no matter who says what, no condemnation shall be held against you. No condemnation shall be held against you. Nobody can say anything that can condemn you because you've forgiven yourself. You're at peace with it. You're at peace with what you've gone through. You've made peace with what has happened to you. Do you understand? As much as you might have not been over it, as much as you might have not forgotten about it, it's not to say once you've forgiven yourself, you forget about it. No, it's just to say that now that you have forgiven yourself, nobody can make you feel condemned for going through what you went through. I don't know what it is that you're currently going through, but one thing I can tell you is that once you've made peace with it, taken accountability for how you chose to compromise yourself and prioritize something other than your mental and emotional and physical well-being, and forgiving yourself after taking the accountability, nobody can condemn you. The world can come at you with all the shots that they have. They can't condemn you. Do you understand? I mean, it might, trigger you, but it's going to trigger you for a very short moment, because you're going to remember, even as you're about to fall back into that space of being triggered, that you know what? you're okay. Because you've forgiven yourself, and that's all that matters. God has forgiven you. You know God has forgiven you. Now forgive yourself. Do you understand? And most importantly, forgive that person. Not because they deserve forgiveness sometimes, but because you need to move on. By not forgiving them, you're giving them too much energy and power over you. That anything that they do that isn't even offensive or that isn't even meant for you, you are going to take it personal and you're going to be offended by it. Do you understand? I'm spitting bars, I'm just saying. But yeah, so after forgiving yourself, I think it's to be patient with yourself. It's such an important thing, guys. Being patient with yourself is the most important thing in the world. Sometimes we go through things and we go through traumas, and we become frustrated with ourselves because we're like, can't you just get over it? It's done, it's been done, it's finished, it's done. Get over it. And we become so angry with ourselves for being in an emotional state. We become so angry with ourselves for being depressed, for being anxious, for being sad, for being heartbroken. We become so angry with ourselves, like, everybody loves you, why can't you love yourself? You know, everybody is happy, why can't you be happy? Do you understand? We feel like we're a burden upon ourselves and upon those around us. Don't be frustrated with yourself. Don't be angry with yourself for being sad. Be patient with yourself to find out why. You've gone through something, you're traumatized. Be patient with yourself to heal. Do you understand? And I'm telling you guys this not from a I know better perspective. I'm telling you guys this from, these are sometimes things that I even tend to forget, but I think it's so important that I shared with you guys, so that even in moments where I forget, I can go back to this. And after learning to be patient with yourself, I think it's so important to be kind to yourself. We're not kind to ourselves as people. We really aren't. We really, really, really are not kind to ourselves. We go through things and we encounter things, and we encounter people that really make us doubt even wanting to continue living. We go through things that make us doubt even if there's a God. We go through things that make us doubt if there's even a tomorrow, if tomorrow's even going to be better, if it's even worth it. We go through things and we meet people that make us criticize ourselves to the bone. And I know as girls especially, we go through this a lot, where we're so mean to ourselves when it comes to our physical appearance. Oh my gosh. And I'm telling you guys, I'm my biggest, child, I'm very mean to myself when it comes to my physical appearance. We're so mean to ourselves when it comes to anything and everything. We're so mean to ourselves when we've chosen to love someone that doesn't love us back. Do you understand? We start asking ourselves, what's wrong with you? Why did you know, you're a clown, you made yourself a clown, so already you have the whole world ridiculing you, you have the whole world being mean to you, and then you're also going to go and be mean to yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's important to just be kind to yourself. You already have the whole world ridiculing you. You have the whole world looking at you, judging your every single body feature, your every single personality trait. You have everybody trying to scrutinize you and go into you and trying to make you feel less worthy, because everybody is so hurt that all they want to do is hurt others, that the last thing you need is to be that person to yourself. You know, the first and foremost thing that you should do is to be like, you know what? It's fine. It's okay. I don't know why it happened. I'm angry it happened, but I'm gonna be patient enough to go through this anger and to actually grow out of it. I think it's very important to give yourself words of affirmation, to give yourself all the things that we look for in people, in relationships, whether it be with a romantic relationship, whether it be a friendship, whether it be a family, you know, relationship, all the things that we look for. I think it's so important we give to ourselves. Reassurance. Do you reassure yourself? You know, time. Do you give yourself time? Words of affirmation. Do you affirm yourself with your own words? You know, physical touch. Do you spend time with your body and with your spirit, that you can actually feel every single thing that you're going through? Do you take that time to yourself to actually go through the things that you want from somebody else? If you don't practice the things that you expect from a partner, from a friend, from, you know, your sister, your cousin, your mom, your dad, your child, if you don't practice those things within yourself, you are going to end up becoming dependent on that person for those things. And one thing we tend to forget is that humans are the most inconsistent thing in the world. People grow, people change. You know, people aren't for forever. Nobody is for forever. Do Do you understand? And you cannot depend on somebody else to make you feel what you feel is important for you to feel in order to feel loved. If you cannot make yourself feel those things, you will never feel loved by yourself, which is why you will constantly go chasing an incomplete, insufficient love. So yeah, I think for me, before I continue going on, for me, that's what self-love is about, guys. It's not about, yes, I mean, it's about pampering yourself, making yourself look pretty, telling yourself, hey, I'm that bitch, you know, been that bitch forever, will forever be that bitch, you know, real hot girl shit. You know what I'm saying? Yes, self-love is about that, but that's the smallest part of it, and that's the very temporary side of it. And that's why I'm saying I personally believe self-love is deeper and it's bigger than just the physical. It's deeper and it's bigger than just pampering yourself. It's more about introspection as to how you treat yourself and how patient you are with yourself and how much you've forgiven yourself and how kind you are to yourself. So yeah, guys, that's me on self-love. It's a very broad term. Everybody has very different opinions. This is, by the way, just as I said in the beginning, from my personal perspective on everything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please hit the thumbs up button if you like that video. Please tell me down in the comment section below if you guys enjoy these little chit chats, you know, these little DMC sessions that we have and whatever, with some little drink and whatever. And yeah, just tell me down in the comment section below. Don't forget to comment any more videos you'd like to see, and last but not the least, subscribe to my channel for more craziness. Bye guys.